Hey, do you want to know what thermostat to use on your truck? Well, you came to the right place. Welcome back. How you like that summer cut? Anyway, today, I don't really know if I need to make a video about this, but we need to talk about what thermostat to run in these trucks. Generally, from the factory, it comes with a 192. And a lot of us in the deep south or where it's really hot like to run a 180. It helps keep the engine cooler, run cooler. It also gives you a chance to react if you do see your engine overheating. And what I mean by that is when you have a 180 in there, it'll generally be a quarter of the way up from the cold. And if you didn't and you ran like a 195 or something, it may be halfway. And then if something bad were to happen, like a small hose popping off, then you don't have much time to react. You're probably not noticing anything, and then all of a sudden you look down and it's blasted hot. Well, that's what these trucks do not like. With the aluminum head against the iron block, it's not a happy situation when it gets hot. So this happened to me before, where this right here blew off. It blew off. It actually broke off because it's a small piece of metal protrusion. And let me see if I can show you on another engine. Okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It is a metal pipe. I don't know what to call it, a protrusion or whatever, because I replaced it. But this on that truck out there, it broke off, and then it started running hot on me because it was slowly leaking coolant out. So what I ended up doing on the truck outside is I drilled this out, threaded it, and put in a brass barb so that would never be a problem again. Ain't that right, Jack? So that's why you see it looking like you can put a wrench on it right there. It's because that is a fitting, and I did that. I talked about that stuff in the video where I talked about doing intake mods, and there's other things. They're the same kind of thing as underneath the intake, and it can break off, cause you a lot of trouble. So if you're into doing some stuff on your engine, it would be wise to go back and look at that video about the intake and do what I did, where you take out those not forever lasting metal pipes and then put in some brass pieces that will outlast the truck. But back to this video. That happened to me, and since I normally run a 180, I had time to react. I saw it creeping up. It was about halfway. I was like, whoa, let's pull over. Let's see what's wrong. But if you're running something a little higher temp, you may not have a chance. It may be hot before you know it, and you've already messed up your head or your head gasket. That happens to a lot of guys. I have, knock on wood, but I have not had any issues with head gaskets. And I have run a 180 for so long. So this winter came by, and I thought I would try something, because normally with a 180, it's plenty warm enough in the winter to get the cab hot. It's always worked for me. But I was wondering, am I really missing something? Let me try a 192 and see how much warmer it gets. So this past winter, I did that. I put the 192 in there, or it could have been a 195. But I put that in there, and sure enough, the heat got hot quicker. And it did raise it from like a quarter on the temperature gauge, quarter high to a little more. But what I've noticed this summer is I was pulling a 16-foot trailer with my zero turn on it for 30 or 35 miles up the interstate, blasting, and it was kind of running even on my tachometer where the 6 is. It was that high. Normally, I mean, that's too high for me, because if something happens, I don't have long, right? But I always keep my eyes on the gauges. But that just seemed a little high, and I didn't like putting my truck through that. So I thought, well, you know what? It wasn't, the 192 or 195 wasn't all that was cracked up to be. So let me just put one back in it. Put the 180 back in it. But here's the thing. When I did it, I don't know where I bought the thermostat. So I don't have an email record of it. I might have went to the parts house. So I don't know if it's a 192 or if it's a 195. So we're about to get into it. We're going to take it apart, and I'm going to see. I'm kind of thinking it's a 195. If it's not a 195, that's telling me, and it's a 192, that's telling me that it's just not for me. It's just running a little too hot under, extreme conditions. I don't really like it. But here's the thing. So I'm going to take this out. I hope it's a 195, because if it is a 195, if that's all they had and that's what I did, I'm going to put a 192 in it. I'm thinking the best of both would be 185, but I couldn't find a 185. So I'm going to take this out. We're going to see what it is. If it's a 195, cool. I'm putting a 192 in it because I got one. And I want to see how good that does year round. That's what comes in them from the factory. But if it's not, if it is a 192, it's too hot for me. I'm putting the 185 in. I'm putting the 180 in. If it's not a 192, I'm putting the 180 in. So let's see what's in there. Okay, we got a little thing on here to catch some fluid. Not that I'm going to reuse it, but we're going to catch some of it. I've got some more to put in it. Let's see here. Yeah, we're making a mess already. Woo! Let's just soak that alternator, lubricate it. You want your alternator nice and lubricated. Well, yeah, get the camera right. Okay. Don't lose your nuts. Hold on to your nuts. Oh, the other one came off so easy. Sorry for the delay. Okay, here we go. I'm kind of excited because I don't remember what I did. A little rusty color from the block. Kind of want to save that gasket, but I'm not gonna. It may. I got other ones. Dude. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's a 192. I don't know. It's a 192, so I did it right. Yeah, so, hey, I made an order off Rock Auto, and I ordered a 192. Two of them, just in case this was a good thing and I liked it. They end up sending me a 195 in this box. And then this one did have 192. However, I'm not going to use it because, look at that. It's a 192, and I do not like how hot, not hot, but just how warm it makes the engine run. I would rather run the 180. So I just, that's probably why I've been running them for years. I mean, so long I can't remember. So this is the one I had in it. Let's see if I can get it to focus. And it's a 180. So I'm going to, it says 180A. But anyway, this one I had in there. I'm going to put it back in and top it off, but first I'm going to towel dry that really well and get my gasket, and I'm going to put on some gray RTV that is, let's go look at it. This is the stuff I like to use. It's the Visbella high temp RTV. I mean, it says it's good for 600 degrees, whatever. It's good for everything. It resists oil, water, antifreeze, safe for all models. This is as close as you'll get to OEM, you know. So I think I got one of these open somewhere, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to put a little bit, like just a little dressing on each side of this gasket after this is dry. Stick it on there. Going to let it tack up a little bit. Put everything back together and take my time and fill it up and check for leaks, and that'll be it. I'll be back to what I've been doing for 20 years. To me, it's best to run a 180. I'm just telling you now, it's just better for the engine, better for the head. If you're one of them that you got thin blood and it's just gonna be cold for you in the winter, and if it's really cold. Now look, I'm in Mississippi, and we have had -8 degrees out here in the winter. It was still fine. I've got a video on YouTube where I did a snow day video. Truck did fine. I was plenty warm. But if you're one of them that's just got thin blood, if you run a 180, you run into a brisk winter and it's not enough for you, you can put a piece of cardboard in here just temporarily, even with a few holes in it, and it'll help. Because I did that as a test once before, and it helps, you know, if you want to do that. But to me, I mean, if you're asking, if you want to know what I run, it's hands down a 180. Hands down. Hands down. I did the 192. It's good for the winter, but I have more summer than I have winter, and it's just not good for me in the summer. Uncomfortable. Uncomfortably hot on the temperature scale. So all right, we got it done. Didn't take no time. Did like I said, you know, I skim coated and I wiped it off. But you put your thermostat in, if you're wondering, you put your thermostat in, and there's a jiggle pin. Let me show you. Voila. This is your thermostat, of course. And right here at the top is a jiggle pin, and it allows air to escape. If you got air in your system, it could run hot or make your temperature gauge run hotter than it's supposed to. So you just, first off, you put this in, jiggle pin at the top, and then you put your gasket on. I skim coated each side, and then I put my filler, my neck on, whatever that's called, I don't know, thermostat housing on, and then bolted it up and put my hose on. Now, I'm not in a hurry. I got another vehicle. I ain't worried about going. I'm not even going anywhere tonight. It's movie night. So I'm just going to let it sit, let it cure. That's exactly what it said to do anyways on the tube. But I'm going to leave it there, and then in the morning I'll come out and top it off, and I'll put my heat and cold dial to hot, let it run, and that just lets it circulate through the heater core so that you're not, you know, so you don't become low or some, you know, it's just got to get all through the system. You want it completely full. So we're going to do that. We're going to monitor it. We're going to fill it up. We're going to go for a trip. We're going to let it cycle, cool it, let it cool off, and I'll pop the radiator cap, make sure it's full in the afternoon, and so on. And that should do it. All right. Well, if you like the video, cool. Give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe. If you want to see more stuff like that, drop a comment. Let me know what you run and what your experience has been. Okay, peace out. We'll see you later.